He is the sweetest, most generous, funniest person. Like, he just likes to make people laugh, and he wants to make them happy. He's a lot easier to anger now. Michael never used to lie. That was one of the things that drew me to him. Whether I got upset about it or not, he told me the truth. Most people tell like white lies so that way people don't get upset. Michael never did that, and that was one of the things that was kind of refreshing. It was irritating, don't get me wrong, but it was refreshing because at least I knew he was being honest. He brushes off responsibility now. Just like little things like that. Obviously, he can't work because he has to. If he doesn't use, he's sick. Then you can't work if you're sick. So he also gets very obsessed. When that craving hits, there is no stopping him. None. He's completely focused, and that's all that he's like tunnel vision until he gets it. And then he's sorry and he feels bad, and the self-loathing comes in. So yeah, that's a huge change.
Well, definitely before I was more outgoing. I had a real great sense of humor, and I was very optimistic about stuff, even in the worst of situations. And I could easily get through them. I'm like depressed now for sure, because it gets to the point, where you physically need it to function. So, before I was way more active. I did a lot more with my daughter, even though I am still a great father. There's times that I instead of playing outside with her, I'm sick. Well, it started with the pain pills, and once I couldn't be prescribed them, I was buying them off the street, and it got to a money issue, it just being outrageous, and heroin was cheaper, it was available. I had birds in my ears telling me, you're wasting your money already, Mike, you might as well try this, it's the same thing. And eventually just being sick and not having any way to get any pain pills, I tried it. And at first I didn't even like it, but I didn't feel sick, so it pretty much got I believe the next time I used, it was like a pain pill to me.
Like, people don't understand how hard it is to get help, and that the struggle that they deal with. I was the same way. Last year, when Mike first admitted he was addicted, and he said that he didn't even want to do the drug anymore, it was because he didn't want to go through the withdrawal. I was like, you're lying. Bullshit. No, if you wanted to, you deal with it, you deal with the withdrawals, and you would just stop. Like, don't give me that. And then I saw what he really went through. And I got it. The withdrawals are so bad.
Honestly, it's like the worst kind of flu your body probably will ever endure. It's your body hurts, sweats, throwing up, stomach problems, sneezing, running eyes, nose, hot, cold. It sees no boundaries or ethics or racial boundaries, or there's no barriers in between. It affects everybody, young and old. And 9 times out of 10, it does start from pills. I don't really know anybody that was just like, hey, bro, I just started doing heroin. You want to try it? Like, it's a progression. It starts with being prescribed it. And then once you can't get it no more, well, I'm sick. What do I do? I mean, if you want to even function to go to work, obviously you're going to, if you have the flu and you can go to the doctor and get a flu shot and be cured, you're going to go get the flu shot. So it plays the same way. It's not even about the high, the addiction. It's about functioning.
It's scary because you don't know. I remember me and his mom both, we have stayed up nights watching him breathe because we're afraid he's going to stop breathing. When he's gone, you're terrified what he's doing. if he's going to come home. You're scared when he does come home because you don't know what he's going to be like. You're frustrated, you're angry, and the one thing nobody ever says is you're lonely. I'm going to tear up. The person that you love is still there, but they're not there. You have no support anymore. We have been trying to get him help for over a year. The waiting lists are ridiculous. You have at least a 6-week waiting list, if not longer. And then they want a private insurance. They won't take Title 19. And then you have to have the right HMO. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with somebody who has an addiction, it's up and down. It's high and low. Like, when they say they want help, you have to act then. Because 2 hours from then, they can change their mind.
How do you feel today about your prospects of getting the right treatment and getting on the other side of this addiction?
Well, I know I'm not going to give up, so I think I have a good chance. I could see why people give up though, because, I want to give up too sometimes, but I got a daughter and family, and this ain't me, and I'm not going to let it define me, so it's definitely an epidemic, and people need to understand that it's not even about the high, it's about functioning. And I'm sure some people are like, oh yeah, I want to be high and like to nod out and shit. But me personally, I don't. I just want to not be sick. And unfortunately, I have to use to not be sick. So.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of the state that you're in now.
Mm-hmm. I haven't used in a couple of days, so I feel really horrible right now.
I'm Greg Winkler. I'm the Behavioral Health Division Manager for Rock County Human Services. In that capacity, I'm responsible for crisis services. We have community recovery services, outpatient mental health and addiction services, child and family services. So all that falls into that division. The things that are helpful to people with an opiate addiction are often a combination of counseling and medication-assisted treatment. Counseling it's not that hard to get people into counseling relatively quickly, but medication-assisted treatment, there's often a wait list for. Medication-assisted treatment requires a psychiatrist that has a special certification to prescribe certain, for Suboxone, that's true. There are some exceptions to that with other medications. So there's a shortage of medication-assisted treatment, and most commonly, people are waiting for that. We are working towards a system where we can provide treatment for people, not just we as the county, but we as a community can provide treatment for people when they need it. And so that often means medication-assisted treatment and counseling, in some cases a safe place to live, and helping people avoid all of the sort of parts of their life that support their continued addiction. There's a principle about harm reduction that says, let's help people do the least harm to themselves, even in the context of the fact that they may continue using heroin or other drugs. If we can help them not use for one day or not use for 1 week, if we can help them not lose a job or things like that, because the truth is that addiction is not like a clean, easy thing. Like, people don't just stop one day and then their life is on this great trajectory. So it's a problem that we have to tackle from a lot of different angles.